In grade 9, I decided to become a high achiever. I was so committed to success that I actually managed to fail at it. I was the only person who I knew who could study for 14 hours straight and somehow come out of it knowing less than when I started. Not only did my grades drop, but I put on weight. I argued with my friends very often, and I always felt nervous. I thought that perhaps maybe I was just not good enough. And this really did take a toll on my confidence and self esteem. Little did I know that my life was going to change within an instant. It was the summer just after grade 9, and I always do my favorite activity, sprawling over the couch watching TV, which for me was my form of meditation, and for my father, an absolute waste of time. As I was engrossed in my favorite TV show, I saw a book across me, lying on a shelf, gathering dust. It was a book called Atomic Habits. I flipped through the first few pages and found it rather intriguing. The book discusses how big transformations begin with small, consistent changes, which really did seem quite impossible at the time. The book not only explains how we can grow to cultivating habits, but more importantly, what stops us from growing. If you just take a quick look at this graph, constructed by James Clear, the author, he contrasts the difference between what we normally expect growth to be and reality. The area labeled here as the value of disappointment represents a difficult period in our initial efforts where we do not see any fruit. Once we get past the value of disappointment, only then can we observe positive results. As I stared at this graph, I realized something rather uncomfortable, which is that I had never gone past the valley of disappointment ever in my life. In the pursuit for more answers, I scrolled through hundreds of academic articles, blogs, and journals and discovered that the best method is to record and track progress. To see if this actually works, I tested this theory on myself. I tracked the time and distance for my running over the course of a month, with each run being a little longer than the last one. Let me show you all some proof. So earlier, I used to be like this. And then after a gap of several months, when I visited some of my relatives, they politely said that I seem to have lost some of my cuteness. At that moment, I realized that data did not lie. The method actually worked. Similarly, when I tried studying in small, consistent bursts over an extended period of time, I saw a similar jump in my grades. During this period, I felt this surge of adrenaline rushing through my veins, knowing that with each push, I was a step closer to achieving my goals. This is more than just about achieving a few targets. I discovered that this ability to strive for perfection empowered me to reach for the stars. This gave me a sense of confidence as well as accomplishment, which I never had before. For example, we had this subject in school called design, where we were given a set of requirements and were expected to develop a product. We were taught how to use these various contraptions, which all seemed very daunting. I was notorious for damaging sewing machines, jamming printers, and even once accidentally locked myself in the design room. Every lesson, I found a new way of annoying my teacher, and this still haunts me today, and definitely sends chills down my teacher's spine. But when I was able to develop my confidence, I felt that I could overcome anything, even design, and I did. My very same teacher, one day towards the end of the year, approached me and mentioned that I would be a good candidate for pursuing design as a major. And this still leaves me perplexed to this day. I really wanted to empower other like-minded lost individuals with the ability to achieve their goals. In grade 10, when we were asked to do a project on a personal interest of ours, the first thing which came to mind was Atomic Habits. To showcase my learnings and takeaways on cultivating habits and its vast capacity, I developed an app which I titled Habitual, a platform for every individual to set goals for themselves and track their progress. Let me give you all a quick demo of my app. So you first arrive at the home page, and then in the sidebar, we can see a range of different goals which you can set. Maybe we want to say improve on our fitness and exercise, so we open it, and then we fill in this form. And this is important, since we will use this data to track our growth. The frequency of filling in the form could range from once a day to once a week or once a month. It is up to us. For me, once a week seems reasonable. So once we're done filling in the form, we can see our progress so far. But then, of course, we would want to improve, and if we do not know how to do so, we can open Next Steps. And there's a link where we can access resources for guidance, as well as an Instagram page for encouragement, as well as cultivating a global habit building community. From my journey of habit building, I've not only grown as a person, but this has also motivated me to take on bigger challenges. In grade 10, I founded my first club, the Student Welfare and Development Association. To further promote student well-being, I, alongside with some of my core SWDAT members, started our second club, Strength Fit, to further promote health and wellness. Outside from school, through persistent effort and dedication, I managed to earn a senior black belt in Taekwondo. It is said that experience is what you get when you did not get what you wanted. If that is true, by the end of grade 9, I was the most experienced person on this planet. I've come a long way from sprawling on the couch. I've traded jamming printers for building apps and experiences for actual results. I still do not have all the answers, but now I have a system, and this has redefined me as a student, as a leader, and more importantly, as a learner. So, stop waiting for a miracle and start looking for a habit. Thank you.